Hello, hello. Ooh, see me vest. See my vest, made from real gorilla chest. See my loafer, former gophers, either that or skin my chauffeurs. Watch too much Simpsons. Oh, it's really annoying me now. Let me just. That's better. It's, is that? It's because it's a bit nippy. So I've got to wear my vest. 2.5 hours in the dentist chair yesterday. Still got a bit of a sore jaw, but I'm here. Four, we have it's even though it's coffee time, I'm having a cup of tea because of my raised potassium levels. Don't ask. I might get me blood test today. Results. Who knows? I'm trying to limit the coffee, so I'm on the tea instead. But why are we here? Why are we here? That is the question that philosophers the quandary that they've debated for many. Why are we here? Well, I'm here to have a cup of tea and talk to you about Marillion for today. They've announced, they call it a world first. I talked about this. Crikey, fuck me! How long ago was it now? Last year. When the COVID all began and they started cancelling tours. Again, those of you who follow me and listen to every word that I say and take notice, remember I went on about insurance. Do you remember insurance, tour insurance, and the biggest problem with resuming touring would be getting insurance for tours and venues getting insurance, because if someone gets the vid, there's a chance that whole tours could be scrapped, and that's without people get it at a concert and they go home and infect Auntie Ethel, and Auntie Ethel pops her clogs. Who's responsible for the vid? So anyway, what we've seen today in this press release that they've just announced, Marillion, they've got a new album coming out, and they're also doing a tour. But the only problem is they can't get insurance for the tour because of the vid. They just can't seem to get insurance. So does that mean bands like that band who toured America recently, did they do that without any insurance? Don't think that would have been allowed to happen, but maybe it's different in America. Maybe they can do it, or maybe they actually put the money up themselves. Maybe they insured themselves. But yeah, what Marillion want to do is they're asking to raise, what was it, £150,000, and that the fans are going to be the insurance broker. If the tour goes up the Swanee, they've got a nice 150,000 in the bank to pay off all their creditors. Yeah, what do I think? I'm massively conflicted over this. Massively conflicted. Marillion notable for kind of inventing crowdfunding, because they crowdsourced their the money for their Anarachnophobia album at the turn of the millennia, and I think I put my money down. I think I've been on a few of those things. I haven't done the recent one. But I've been on. You'll find my names in the fan issues of those albums. My name's in there somewhere. So, I thought that was a good thing. But I remember when they raised money for a tour once, and I thought, well, really, I thought that was a bit much. I don't mind, products, raising money for albums, but then albums sell, and then that makes the money, and that should be used to fund other things. That's my logic. I don't mind helping them, giving them bricks to build the house, if you know what I mean. But sometimes I think them asking for more money is a bit rum. And again, with this one, I'm kind of conflicted again, because it's up to you. There's now daft as fans. You're perfectly entitled to spend your money how you see fit, and that's fine. I personally wouldn't pay my money for this, because I'm of the mind that really Marillion, as an operating business, should have the cash somewhere in their pockets to raise £150,000. If not, you need to ask themselves, is it worth them doing it? Surely that cost could be absorbed into ticket prices. Yeah, okay, tickets will be a bit more expensive, but then everyone is kind of, helping, to fund it secretly, under the radar, without it being made a big thing. That cost could be absorbed into a ticket price, because I'm sure that I don't know how many tickets they sell on their tours. Would it be, I don't know, how many tickets do you think they'd sell? how many venues do they play? I wouldn't know. I don't know the math on it, but um, if they added a fiver onto a ticket, that might help get towards that magical figure. But they're doing it. There are various tiers. It's like a crowdfunder. You can pay. I think it's 250 and below, and you get various rewards. You can do a Zoom call and things and get a Christmas card. I don't know. I think Steve Hogarth comes around and irons your underpants. He likes doing the ironing, does our Steve. There's many rewards. I think there's also a raffle. There's a raffle, and you go, okay, and I'm sure the fans will back it. But should they have to? This is the thing, because this is they are a business after all. And again, when you're doing the album, I can kind of get that. But paying for the insurance for a tour, I think there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way of approaching this. And I don't necessarily think it should be a fan's responsibility to act as their insurance company. I just think that's where the obligation between the fan and the musician ends, because the musician you're a business. You're a business. Surely you can, license your recordings or put out a limited edition something that would help go towards the money. Actually maybe do an actual eBay, raffle. eBay some stuff off. Make it a bit more. A bit more subtle than this. It's a bit on the nose, if you know what I'm saying. But it does illustrate my point I made. Crikey, it must have been over, 18 months ago when all this began. That the music industry would find it hard to bounce back when it comes to the matter of insurance, because insurers only like the business when it's in their direction. They don't like paying out, and I've been on the short end of this, so I'm talking from experience. I know what I'm talking about. Insurance companies really do need to step up, and I'm sure once they've been given enough time to figure it out, I'm sure the insurance companies will get on board and offer policies to cover COVID infection and whatnot. So I thought it was a curious thing. It's called the Lightsavers scheme, and like I say, they're trying to just raise the money and to pay off anyone. What after that? What if say the tour goes ahead? What happens to 150 grand then? Do they go down to the casino? Put it all on black. But I thought it was an interesting one. It's something worth talking about. And again, pretend that I'm interested. Do leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this is the future of touring for many bands, or do you think the higher tier artists will be covering this themselves, because that really is the ethical and sensible thing to do? Whereas obviously, it's kind of obvious that they're not making a lot of money if they're having to do this. There's 5 of them. If they all put in, 30 grand? That's rough maths. Rough maths, isn't it? That's about 150 grand, isn't it? If they all put in money, I'm sure they've all got some fivers tucked down the back of the sofa. I'm sure Ian Mosley's got some money in his drum stool hidden. His drum stool's stuffed with £50 notes. I'm sure of it. They could cover this themselves. And this is the question: where does the obligation begin and end? Again, this is something else you can discuss this in the comments. You probably won't, because you're probably just going to slag me off because Marillion are the best. I love Marillion. Because fans are stupid. Let's be honest. Where does the obligation become between the artiste and the fan? Where are the obligations? And again, when that Marillion first did that crowdfunder for their album, there was a degree of goodwill there. It was like also an experiment, see where this went. But I've always thought it was a bit odd that they needed to continue to do this, because they've got their own studio, they've got their own label. All the money that comes in, isn't filtered out to record companies and whatnot. They get their cash pot. And it does, it does make you wonder if, again, if a business isn't feasible, they've either got to raise their prices or think about winding up the business. That's if in the world of business, that's what would happen. You either make cutbacks or increase your costs, your cost price, or you go, well, this business isn't making any money. What they need is they need to license their money into movies and adverts and whatnot and do that. So yeah, I just thought it was an interesting topic that came up. So yeah, what do you think? See, I could. Shall I be cynical? So I've got diabetes. I've got type 2 diabetes. Apparently, that's what they keep telling me. Oh, Darren, you've lost weight. People keep telling me in the comments. It's like, yeah, I've been losing weight from about 2017, since Alex died, and I got a faster dog. I don't know if you've noticed. This has been a long time coming. I've lost a little bit more weight in the last 6 months because of this type 2 diabetes thing. So I've cut out all sugar completely. I mean, I'd already cut down sugar anyway. I was like trying to be a bit more health conscious because I was hitting 50. I want to be alive for the kids. I want to live to 150, obviously. So yeah, when I got the diabetes diagnosis, I kind of cut. I mean, there's no sugar in this. No sugar in my tea, man. I live a horrible, miserable life. But one of the side effects of this is it's had an effect on my teeth. I've had a rotten tooth here. This is why I was in the chair for 2.5 hours yesterday, and I've got to go back on next Wednesday. And I had this one filled. I had 2 rotten teeth, and I've got a filling, which I've had. I don't think you can see it there. I've had that. That filling is older than my current dentist, and it cracked, and some of the tooth has just disintegrated. And it's diabetes, you see. That's the problem. It affects your chemical balance in your mouth and everything, and it's one of the side effects of diabetes. Unfortunately, I can't get an NHS dentist for love nor money around here, so I've got to have to pay private, and that's very expensive. Now I'm going to do a Marillion. And say, look, if you want to throw some money in the hat, it's me. I don't e-beg like all the other YouTubers. I don't have merch to sell apart from a CD, but I sold them all out. But it's not enough. It's not enough to pay for the dental care. It's just enough to pay for the CDs, because that's what I do. I do it to make the CDs. I don't make a great deal of money because my music isn't popular. 12,000 streams of one song on YouTube. Someone's using it on YouTube. Earned me 23 cents. Not even pennies, cents. Hey. Anyway, so I'm doing a tooth aid. This is what it's called. It's called tooth aid. Save the teeth. So I need to raise money. I've done $650. It's gonna be $650 on this tooth, and I've already done $130 on the filling that I had on that tooth. And I don't know how much that one's going to cost. So we're looking at nearly £1,000, right? Let's call it £1,000. If we can raise £1,000 by next Tuesday, I'll be happy. So just send the money. Don't forget Marillion. They don't need it. I do. Teeth are more important. So you can find a paper. I think it's PayPal. There's PayPal, and there's things in there. Yeah, you can just put the money in an envelope and send it to the usual address. Use notes, use notes, and none of that dodgy Australian money. Don't want none of that Australian money, because all that Canadian stuff either. Pound sterling. So yeah, I'm going to be a bit more like Marillion, and I'm going to beg you for money to save my teeth. Sell the guitars, you bastard, you lazy, but get a job. I'm trying, but no one's getting back to me. So yeah, that's a thing. In case, again, because people ask why I'm losing weight and whatnot. It wasn't the tumour. Maybe it could still be, couldn't it? It could still be the tumour. So anyway, that's me and Marillion. Marillion are raising money for insurance. I'm raising money for my teeth. Who's the worst ligger? Is it me or Marillion? Anyway. Oh, we've got some people in. Wakelin says, lots of bands, especially in the metal scene, basically run their entire business through crowdfunding now. The band, while she sleeps, market their crowdfunding as a society. and it seems quite cult-like. Yeah, well, again, there's nothing daft as fans. Pascal says, good band, Marillion, much better than as Fish singer. Well, yeah, Marillion, ever since Fish left, that was the best thing that happened to him. Robert says, when I first saw the announcement, I was willing to bung in a tenner, but then the lowest tier is 25 notes, and I thought that's a bit steep for me. Oh, you see, that's the thing, it should be, a fiver or whatnot, But Art says, morning, Darren. Hope you're chipper on my second cup of coffee. Well, like I said, I'm trying to cut down on the coffee. I'm only having 1 cup a day because I was having only three cups, and apparently because I've got raised potassium levels, and they're worried that my kidneys might be failing. Hey, might need to raise money for new kidneys. You can buy kidneys on eBay, can't you? Again, this is all part. I'm trying to be healthy. This is it. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do? You don't drink, don't smoke. I'm trying to be healthy, but my body is rejecting the cure. That's not Robert Smith. It's this metformin stuff. Again, the nurse said that can raise the potassium levels as well. Then why give me it? But I took my blood this morning. It was 6.4, which is it's pretty good. So then I had a donut. What? Andy says, stitching up the faithful fan base, if you ask me. Well, again, there's certain things that you can ask your fans for, I think. But again, it is a business. They are a business, and they are, running a business. So you do wonder, if they're making a profit, then that profit should be put in a pot and used for stuff like this, unless they're not making that much money. And again, I think if you start asking your fans for money like this, you need to be fairly transparent with what you make. Now, I can be transparent with you guys, like with YouTube. I do about, what do I do? Well, on this channel, I do about 80 quid a month. And on my other channel, it's about 20 quid. So that's 100 quid I get a month on YouTube. Ooh, and then with the Patreon, it's about another 80 quid. So about 180 quid a month I do. But that's not enough to save my teeth, because I do have other bills to pay. And, again, that money does help us. It helps the home. It helps us pay our bills. So, it's my little bit of contribution towards whatnot. So I can be there was a time when people said you can't mention how much money you make on YouTube, but if you want to ask, I'll be honest, I'll tell you what it is. It's not a great deal now. I mean, it used to be a lot better back in the day. I mean, there was a time when, crikey, there was one month when I got near 300 quid. I had the one channel then, so it was all kind of funneling in. But I don't have any problem with being transparent with what comes in and that. But I won't tell you how much I make on eBay, flipping records. Not that I do too much of that these days. The record market's quite weird. It can be quite volatile. It's quite odd. But yeah, I think they need to be pretty transparent with their finances if they're going to keep pummeling the fans for money, And again, I just think that's, if you're going to be, I'm going to use the E word, the ethical word. If you're going to be an ethical business and you are going to rely on your fans like this, you do need to kind of meet them halfway. And I like Marillion. Again, part of me thinks there's nothing wrong with doing this, but then I've got there's a niggly thing. Like I said, there's the business brain of me that's saying, well, really, if you're a business, that's a cost that you should cover yourself. And, asking them to put money towards an album, they're going to benefit from it. This is part of the business, so they absorb it into the ticket price, Or am I being dumb? I don't know, maybe I'm not seeing it the right way. Again, put me right in the comments section. Tom says, I really don't understand why signed bands need to use crowdfunding as much, because they must be getting an advance of some kind from their label. Unless their deal is shocking. Well, Marillion run their own label, so they don't get an advance. However, it is a business. They release albums steadily. They don't pay anyone, they don't pay a record company. They might have a distribution deal. I don't know the ins and outs of it. They may have a distributor that they have that takes a cut. But they're getting the cream. They're in a unique position. However, I don't know if they own. They probably don't own the copyright of their successful. I think some of that may still go to EMI and be divvied up with the Scottish chap. So they probably don't get as much from that. But again, them and Fish could come to a deal where they get that stuff licensed. You really got to get that music out there. In movies and adverts and whatnot. They need to think along those lines. So yeah, they are in a unique position that they are masters of their own game. And again, they could put out a live album or something. And again, I think just relying on people putting money in when they could, I don't know, they could sell off some equipment or auction some signed stuff, or I don't know. There's got to be a better way. I just think it seems to be a little bit cheeky when it is part of the business. That's a business cost. They might as well start selling shares in Marillion. That's the next step. Like Bowie did with the Bowie bonds back in the 90s, and he used that money to buy back all his copyright, which was really clever. And then he paid the fans back. They got their money back. That was very smart. So really, Bowie bonds was actually the first. Actually, I think Bowie beat Marillion, didn't he, with his Bowie bonds thing? People forget about that. But yeah, you've got to be kind of straight with people. So yeah, Pascal says, Darren, as new album turned into crime of Deep Purple. Ciao, good lunch. Yeah, Deep Purple's got a new album out. I'm not really a Deep Purple fan. So there we go. And the new album, he says, your English isn't too good, Pascal, so I'm having a bit of trouble translating. The new album is cover song as Seven and is Seven as first single. Deep Purple, good band. Yeah, they are. And ciao. Ciao, baby. Art says, Tooth Aid. Give Geldof a call. Give us your fucking money. Andy May says Tom Jones insures chest air freeze 6.9 million. And Naz says hey. And Brendan says even Fish doesn't get his fans to fund his insurance, and he does much smaller numbers. And at least Dick Turpin wore a mask. What again? I did mention this. I said it at the beginning. I don't know if you caught the beginning, Brendan. I did say this year, like when all this COVID began, that bands will find it hard to get insured because the insurance companies are going to go. They're the first ones whose arseholes are going to tighten. When with the COVID, because it's really hard to insure against this thing. It's almost up there with like act of God now. So it's a really problematic situation. But you're telling me that there ain't an insurance company out there that's going to say, oh yeah, we'll insure you for a premium. I'm sure there's got to be somebody out there. And I just thought, again, it's a business cost. Should the fans be doing this? And again, I'm not having a go at Marillion. I don't know. Something doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel like it's the right thing to do. And again, I'm a big supporter of them. I'm not supporting the new album because I just didn't feel like it. I've been so disappointed by the latest releases. I'm just like, do I really want to spend 40 quid on an album I'm not going to like? After the last one, which is like, but you never know. I might be surprised. It might be a really good album. Fingers crossed. I want to be proved wrong. But yeah, I think I'll sign off there because I've just run out of tea. Don't forget, you can help Marillion. They've got this thing. It's called Lightsavers. Do check it out. I won't post the link, but instead we're pushing Tooth Aid instead. Tooth Aid, so I can keep all the teeth in my head. Like I said, I had that was a root canal. That was 2.5 hours in the chair. That was fun. I was like, when I came home, I was absolutely knackered. It was awful. It weren't awful. He's a very good dentist. He's very good. But it was an awful experience laying on your back for 2.5 hours. If only, eh? And with your mouth open. My jaw is still sore. I can't open my mouth. So I won't be selling blowjobs today at the dockside because I can't open it. It's very sore. But yeah, I had a root canal done, and I've got to get it back and have it filled in. He's going to fill it all in. Great. Put these metal plugs in. Great. And then he's going to find out what's happened to this one because this one's crumbling. I've got to fill it up. It's more filling than tooth. But yeah, this is all part of the diabetes. I've been reading up about it, and it's like, yeah, your teeth can fall apart. And it's like, because I've never had any problem with my teeth for like 27 years. I think it was the last time I went to the dentist. I think Tony Blair wasn't even in power then, but now again, and you try and get an NHS dentist, and it's like, fuck off. You've got to wait for people to die, and it's like, crikey, so it's a real problem. So I've got to pay top dollar, so that's that. Oh, wait a minute. Naz asks, is Animals coming out or not? You've got a momentary lapse of reason. The remix, you will enjoy it because Davy Boy Gilmore says so. It's all Roger's fault if Roger didn't just shut the up. If Rogers kept his bloody socialist mouth shut, you'd be getting a remix version of Animals for this Christmas, but you're not. You're getting a momentary lapse of reason, and you will enjoy it. Okay. Michael Jackson, says, raising ticket prices, agree, seems like a sensible idea, as Marillion prices aren't that steep. Again, I don't know how big the tour is, because I ain't doing my research, because I'm a ignorant pig, you know that. But, even if they put up by £5 or £10, it's got to cover that's got to cover it, hasn't it? It's got to cover it. And they do well, they sell out. It's not like they've got empty venues or whatnot. Crikey, even if they did some signed merchandise, signed merch at gigs to raise, to pull in a few more quid. I don't know. There seems to be a better way, but they like I think again they like the idea of the family thing. Again, that's great. But is this the right way? Is this the right use of people's money, especially as we've just come out of this pandemic and there's a lot of people that are, going to be, struggling, that are going to be financially, tight, and they're going to feel kind of obliged. This is it. This is what I talk about, the obligation between fan and musician. Now, talking of my own, I put out some CDs and I do a little pre-order thing, but that pre-order money goes towards the manufacture of the CD, and I make about 30 quid, on the remaining stock. So, that's how I do it. But people know that, and it's usually the diehards that help. But Marillion, you're telling me Marillion, the international, rock, Scottish heavy metal rock band, can't raise 150 grand either by putting her own money in, or taking out some sort of loan or whatever. I don't know. There's got to be a way of, and again, what happens to the money if it doesn't get cancelled? Does it all go back to the fans? Do they go down to the casino? Do they put it on that horse? Or does Ian Mosley put it all up his nose? What? He likes snuff. He likes expensive snuff. I'm joking. I'm just remembering that the Fugazi box set, and how fast he was playing. It's all that snuff, medicated snuff, So it's kept him going all these years. Vorna says, morning Darren, the right decision for Marillion is to postpone the tour. I don't think it's right to ask fans for insurance. It's a good idea. Well, we seem to be in a similar ballpark there. We seem to be, and it's great when we all agree. I love it when everyone agrees with me. It makes me feel better. And I have got a dental plan. I'm paying 13 quid a month to my dentist, so I can get a 10% discount on my tooth care. But yeah, so yeah, you too can subscribe to Tooth Aid. I need the bloody money. They don't. They can just reissue Kaylee again, can't they? Can they just put it out again as a single? But anyway, I think we'll stop there because I've run out of tea. And if I see anything else of interest, we'll come online. And that's that. Thank you for watching. Oh, there's a new Epiphone Joe Bonamassa guitar come out, which is quite nice. I could use the tooth money to buy that, couldn't I? I'm joking anyway. Have a nice day, and who knows, maybe we'll do this again one day, I don't know. Of course, they're just a poor man's Genesis at the end of the day, aren't they? Just a poor man's Genesis. Oh, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.